sir. I don't care. I say it all the time. I'm messing with
That's
you.
out.
I'm messing with you.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay. Hey, Maria.
Hi, Lisa.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's Friday.
It's Friday. You know what that means?
Yes, the
Diversity Duo. So you have brought another guest for us today.
Y'all are cute. I just gotta say that.
We are cute.
You're adorable.
We agree. We agree. Thank you. That's why you're invited.
Yes.
No. So Maria. So you brought another guest.
I did. She's lovely.
Yes, she is.
I know that you have met her because we have had many Zooms meeting.
Yep.
But this is the first time you've been in person.
We are
face to
in
face.
person.
She is, since the day I met her, we just had that, how will I put it? That connection.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been my girl ever since.
Nice.
So without further ado, I want to introduce you and everybody else to my friend Tanya Lobo. She is the CEO of True Diversity. Tanya?
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming all this way.
Oh my God. No, it wasn't a bad drive. It was just like, where am I going?
Yeah.
First time ever in Marshfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, make sure you get down to the beach too. Go see the water.
Oh, okay.
Not the last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Great food around
Yeah,
here.
I've been to
Although I
Duxbury.
only know 2 restaurants.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. You only go to 2
I
places.
gotta admit, I did say that. I said I should have brought a snack.
So, True Diversity.
True diversity.
I like it.
Tell us about you.
Tell
at
us
True
all about
Diversity,
you.
please.
Tell us about you, your experience. How did you start it? Why did you start it?
So I started True Diversity because we were in such a disarray during the pandemic. And there was just so much social unrest.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, I love to talk and I love to just, do my thing. But that being said, this was something that I had started years ago, but never really had the opportunity, like a lot of us, to actually put pen to paper and really make it a reality. I was originally in Georgia for about 10, 11 years before I moved back to Massachusetts, and we moved back to Taunton in 2016. And when I moved back, I said that I wanted to immerse myself in the community, but life didn't allow that. But the pandemic did. And so I was able to put a plan together. I actually had an outline. It's funny because I was going through like an old computer, and I was like, there it is. And it was just this outline of everything that I ever wanted to do if I could just have my own organization. And I was able to jump in, I guess you can say, because I literally just jumped in into the community. I went and I met with our mayor. She immediately said, there's this mayoral task force that's actually right in its inception, again, because of the social unrest and all of the things going on. And it's funny because they were only allowing, I think it was like 9 or 10 people on this task force. And when I got there was like, I don't know, 15, 20 people. So I was like, oh, they're not going to choose me. They don't know me, and I'm not from Taunton, so I'm not a Tauntonian. And this is a story I barely tell. But when the dust settled and they did the whole thing, I got the email that unfortunately there were other individuals and whatever. And it was like almost 2 a.m, and I seen it because my husband was like, oh, there's a press release on that thing you went to the other day. And I was like, oh, is there? So I got excited. And I was like, that's what? My name wasn't on there? Are you kidding me? And then I went to my email to email them. And then that's when I saw the email. So in true Tanya fashion, I sat there and I emailed them back. And I said, I know I'm supposed to be on this task force. Yeah. And I know that this is where I'm supposed to be and where I was led to be. And I just went into this whole thing. And right the next morning, they said, you know what? We really appreciate your words. And they just added one
Asking
more
you shall
person.
receive.
You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Wow.
And so they added one more person. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, I don't think we would be as successful as we are in such a short period of time. I mean, we've only been, this is our 5th year, obviously.
Can we find out a little bit more about this task force? What do you do? What?
Before that, because
Okay.
she jumping right into True, we want to know about who Tanya is and her
I know.
background. Right, my friend? Tell us about your family, which, by the way, is lovely. I love her mom and I like that. But tell us about your background, please, so our listeners learn about you.
Yeah, so background. I am obviously a daughter to my mom. She was a single mom since I was about 12 years old, which that kind of, connects to True and why I'm so passionate about what I do and helping children and youth and giving them the tools emotionally to get through adversity and different barriers. I am also a mental health therapist. I just am a newly licensed community health worker. I mean, I was like health worker, and I was like,
Wow.
this is
Congrats.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I was like, so the work that I do, there's actually a license for it? Like people actually get paid to
what
do
is
this?
a community health? Say it again. A
Community health worker.
Okay.
So basically just doing everything that I do in the community, but, making sure that the resources and supports that are out there are communicated to the community. So
lovely.
kind of very much really grassroots. Kind of like before, you know how, you used to get home visits and, there were social workers who actually came to the door to make sure that the family was okay, the child was, like that's kind of what a community health worker does. But there's different variations and everything that I do in the community. And I was like, check. I'm going to try to get this license.
Right.
And within 2 days, the board approved it and I was licensed and I was really excited for that one. This is a new thing.
So I think
Fantastic.
jump
Yeah.
into True Diversity
Right.
and tell us the menu of services.
Yeah.
Because I want to come back to that community health worker and how
Yeah.
that aligns.
Yeah, so again, True, for the most part, we have a lot of programming around children and youth. And we also have, supports and services for families. We are currently, oh my God, breaking news, everyone. We are currently finally licensed with Mass Health, Medicare,
Wow.
and other, insurances, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Tufts, et cetera. And we are now 2 licensed LICSW and another therapist has joined our community. And we are going to be hopefully opening a mental health, office. And I don't say just therapy because it's going to be a lot going on in there. So we're
Wow.
excited about that.
Look at that.
That
I
is
know.
very
You heard it here
exciting.
first.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
As I keep my stuff really close to my vest.
Yes, she does.
But part of what we want to do is to just have a greater impact, not only, again, to children and youth, but to the entirety of the community. And so I know I'm jumping everywhere, but that's something else, another service that we want to have at the Loft, which is a community center that we're in the process of building out in Taunton.
Wow.
And how is that going, the Loft?
The Loft is going really well. We have a lot of haters. So there's a lot of controversy around it, but there's nothing really truly happening on the outside. But the organizational part of it is going well. Our construction team has been meeting every week as usual. We finally had a larger reimbursement, so we're going to have flooring and the rest of the demo done next week. The construction manager and the project manager got the permit, and they're really excited
Great.
to get moving. It's been a little slower than we thought, and it's mainly because as a nonprofit, we kind of have to wait for the grants.
Right,
and there
okay.
was a large grant that we received, but with all of the federal funding cuts that have occurred, they clawed that back.
Okay.
So that was a pretty big hit. It was almost $650,000.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
pretty big, and that was really going towards all of the green energy construction stuff that
Sure.
we were or are wanting to do. So like our MEP plan, which is mechanical engineer plan, all of those soft costs that the other grants that only pay for the hard costs, but you need the mechanical engineering plan to do the other stuff. So
Yeah.
we're kind of in this like chicken or the egg thing, but it's going well otherwise. Absolutely.
Can I ask questions about the loft? Because
Yeah,
this was
absolutely.
this is a
Yeah,
huge
please.
building, if I'm not mistaken.
It's
right?
about 6,000 square feet. Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And you picked this building up about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, so we kind of started the talks with the owner in January, and I think it was April or May that we signed the 45-year lease in order to kind of own it per
Yep.
se. But we are also working on acquisition, but the long-term lease was for that purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. And you've got it. You're kind of bringing it down and then picking it back up. Is that?
The building has been sitting vacant for about 20 years, and it's a 100-year-old building. So every single time we opened something, a wall or
Yeah.
a floor, there was always something extra. So we initially received a grant for $217,000 from Mass Development, TDI Equity, and most of it went to the roof, even though that wasn't originally what we budgeted for.
Okay.
So this is kind of what's been happening.
Yeah.
But we are still working with so many grantors and helping to figure this out. Like I said, the team continues to grow because people continue to sign on. And I'm so grateful because they're not getting paid for this, guys.
Wow.
They're just really jumping in because they love the project.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you share the purpose of the loft?
Okay, so yeah, I'll tie it into True. So the purpose of the loft is to be able to hold our programs, that we are currently kind of just hopping around the community wherever there's a space
Yep.
in this space, in this community space. It's also so that kind of like something like this we can have there as well, have offices, have conference rooms. We're also going to have a space where we can provide childcare for caregivers. So if you have a work from home thing, but you also have a young one, but you don't want to bring them to childcare, there's also an affordable place for that because
Okay.
that's really important to me as well. Again, tying that right back to growing up as an only child to a mom who's a single mom and kind of huddling in the corner while she was working 2 jobs
Yep.
and, running around with her. I understand now that I'm a mom, all of the sacrifices that she made. And so how do I give back in a way where I'm able to help those caregivers, whether you're mom, grandparent, father, whatever it is, to be able to support the community so that they can continue to work and still be able to have affordable childcare.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it's also, like I said, going to be a community space for teens and youth to come and hang out. We're going to have an event space so we can have workshops and different things. So, and in the back, the coup d'etat is a workforce development workspace that we are working with the Mass Clean Energy Center, who has funded or is giving us an Empower grant for about $150,000 in order for us to kind of develop that and work with all the other clean energy organizations in Massachusetts. So that has been amazing and has definitely brought a lot more light to the project, and
Yeah.
that's why others have joined us.
So what's really interesting, Tanya, is we've had a lot of small businesses come through and a lot of entrepreneurs, and a couple of things become really crystal clear to us. Is when we say, where did you start your organization? Like, if we were to go back and find your first business plan,
Oh my.
how close does it resemble where you are today?
Nowhere.
Right? It's
Nowhere near.
it's incredible, isn't it?
Right.
There's-
Yeah.
Like and I've only been in business 3 years, and I know when I started, I was like, this is what I do. I do just this. No, I don't. But to hear even, and again, I know you from Maria. I know of your story. Because we're part of Maria's community.
Right.
But having seen all and heard all of these changes in the past year and a half of what's been happening to you and your business, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Sure is.
It's-
sure is.
It is incredible.
So
it's
tell
a
us-
lot, but
How is it a lot? How did you know how to do this? That's one of my favorite questions we ask people.
Before we go
All right.
there,
Boy, you are stopping me in
I
every
know,
step
because
today.
we have the producer just giving us the eye. I just want to give a shout out to Tanya's mom, Clara Martinez. Shout out. You have raised a wonderful human being. She has mentioned you twice, but not by name. So I'm putting your name out there. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lisa.
So yeah, how did you do this? How did you know how to do this? And if you didn't know how to do something, how did you know how to find somebody who did?
Quite honestly, this has gone completely left than what my track would be and supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. And people would call that mission creeping a little bit.
Sure.
But I think that it all comes back and aligns itself. And to be honest with you, I am an avid researcher, and I research everything, and I never say no to anything. And what I normally do is I just start calling around. Hey, do you know somebody? And go from there. And if I don't get that connection, then I just start to become who they want me to be and what I need to do.
Yep.
So I was just talking about this yesterday with somebody, and I was like, I am now a developer. I mean, I'm going to put that on my resume because what I have been doing with this project, I never imagined, like in a million years, imagined that I would be doing all of this.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's no grace, right? There's no grace on the outside. So it's like, oh, there's a huge red stop order on the building. And I'm like, yeah, because my general contractor was in Greece at the time, and I totally forgot to pay the permit. Why? Because I don't have the login.
Right.
Because it's literally under his license, so he's the one that has to do it. Right? So there's just little things like that. I'll never have that happen again.
Yep.
But now I know.
Now you know.
And now I'm even more meticulous and researching everything, because you're not going to slap me in the face twice.
Right.
But there's just this community. It's a really, I've got to tell you, it's a really small, tight circle, but there's just this community, and I got to say, of women who have been supporting me in such a way, as Maria's saying, I have to get you out of the bed. They are absolutely doing that. Like, even before I came here, I was just getting all of these text messages, because this has been a really heavy week for me. And just the support and the love, if nothing else, that has been what has allowed me to continue to be, am I allowed to swear on here?
Yeah.
The boss bitch?
Yeah.
That's not
that's
swearing.
fine.
Okay.
That's, that's a nickname.
And I was going to say, somebody gave me that nickname, and I was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to tell myself that sometimes,
Yeah.
because there are times where I'm just like literally sitting there for hours and going and tying this back to mental health. People don't know how horrible they are. I really don't think they know that.
No.
How much they can truly just take all of the energy from you when
Vampire
you're truly
energies.
right, when you're truly just trying to do good.
Yep.
And I sit back and I say sometimes, am I centering myself? Like, do I portray this in my community? Because I don't know what the problem is. But to truly answer your question, it's the community around me. It's the people that continue to jump in when there's so much hate and vitriol and divisiveness. And I would never be where I am without the people that have surrounded me and have continued to hold my hand and say, don't worry about the people that are talking.
Right.
Just keep moving. Keep
That's just
researching.
noise.
That's just noise.
It's just noise.
Keep coming to me. If I don't have it, I'll find it for you.
Yep.
And that's just really been what has allowed me to keep doing what I do and continuing to keep racking up those titles.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, I think it goes back to the word that we always hear is help, right?
Yes.
You have to ask for help.
And that was so hard for me in the beginning.
Oh, so hard for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
But it's all, it's one of the key words we hear when people sit in that particular
All the
chair.
time.
Yeah.
It's,
All the time.
I needed to go, and then I needed to exhaust myself.
Yeah.
And, the point about I needed to kind of get into bed for a couple of days, cry this out a little,
Yes.
right? And then have
Lots
my
of tears
people
this
around
week.
me say, you're a badass bitch.
Yes.
Get up. Like, it's time.
Yes.
You rested enough. Now show up, put your big pants on and let's get going.
Yeah.
And that does happen from the community. It does happen from women. And doesn't really matter the size of your business or what your requirements are either.
Yeah.
Like, it's exhausting and quite lonely to be.
I love that you said that.
Oh, it's really lonely.
It's
It's
very lonely.
really lonely. And I do not think that people understand how lonely it is.
No.
And I don't think I've ever experienced loneliness. And so I think it's hit harder for me because it's lonely.
Yeah.
That is exactly
And
right.
it's a lonely in the good as well as the bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, and that's the shock. Like, I've called Maria because, on a good event, right? Something that's happened. And it doesn't have to be a big signing contract. It can be you got the right person on the phone, you had a good conversation, whatever your little win is.
Right.
I have called Maria and said, okay, I just told my wife, and her response was, oh, that's nice. I'm going to tell you the story. And I tell the story to
And we
receive.
celebrate.
And we celebrate.
We celebrate.
Yes. Yeah.
But on the same token, I have called her. Like last week, she calls and she hears it in my voice. What's wrong? And I said, I feel so lonely in this office. I wish you were here so we can bounce ideas.
Right.
Because it's different when you have the energy of another person there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's totally different. And after talking to her, and I said, okay, I got my energy back. I got my mojo back. Thank you.
Yeah.
But we do that to
Yeah.
each other. Every time we do it too.
Yes.
She has come and I said, lady, you're a lion. I don't want
Right.
to hear anything.
That's exactly
You're
right.
a lioness. So,
Right.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's true. And that's another thing that we want to be able to do at the loft, right? We want to be able to have the space where we can do that. You may be in your office, I may be in my office, but I can open and run the door and be like, Maria, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of energy we want to bring. And I think that for whatever reason, it is slapping people in the face that we have been able to do what we have done in such a short period of time, and they continue to try to stop it and try to find something negative in the mistakes and in the like I said, there's just no grace. And I'm learning that, and that's okay.
Can I
Right?
ask more questions around that?
100%.
And so again, just to be transparent,
yes.
I have read an article,
Yeah.
just one, because I'm not really interested, because
Yeah.
I knew I would. I know you enough that I will see you at some point.
Yeah.
So we are talking about, or we're dancing right now around, you're receiving some negative feedback.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it feedback.
I don't know
I
if
think
it's
feedback is
feedback.
too,
I don't know if it's
not
feedback.
feedback.
It's too kind.
You're receiving
That's too kind.
You're receiving nonsensical talk
yeah.
because
Sensationalized clickbait.
sensationalized.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
sells news.
Yeah.
So you did allude to the fact that there was a red sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And-
Absolutely. There was a stop order. They took it off 2-3 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your story kind of from beginning to end of how you started and how you got here, and maybe some of the hiccups and maybe some of the lessons learned, because I think we've all done work. No, we haven't all done work, but I've done work, and permits get very complicated. I've done them for a residential home. I can't imagine taking on. I mean, this goes back to that. It must be nice to be sitting behind a keyboard thinking you know how everything happens
Facts.
versus, holy smokes, I'm in the middle of a project plan and, didn't see that something was dependent on something else, right?
Correct.
That is a very clear. So I'd love to hear kind of as much of the story as you'd like to share.
Oh, I will share it all.
Oh.
And I don't know how much time you have, and if you're going to do a part 2, I'm here for it. But that being said, I'll share it all. But to also just state from what your last comment was, people think that, well, I guess it doesn't matter what they think, but what they see, no matter what happens, is me. As if I'm the one who is always responsible for everything,
yes.
no matter what,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And I take it because, I've been told so many times, because you're our fearless leader, so you have to, this is the role you took on. So that's something else that I've learned, lesson learned in leadership, is that if it's good, it's me. If it's bad, it's me. It doesn't matter what it is, it's always me, right? But also that if you're working with the team, if it's good, you have to shine the light on the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right? But if it's bad, you
have
have
to
to you have to take it all by yourself.
That's
And
right.
so here's
Yes.
where the loneliness comes in at times
Yep.
because I'm like, well, wait a minute. I didn't ask for this building. You know what I mean? I wanted it. I continued to drive by it thinking like, wow, this would be amazing
Yep.
for, almost 2 years. But you gave this to me. You brought it on. You called me and said, hey, we heard that this might be something and we're going to support you and we're going to be there for you. I am a lonely, lowly, single individual working in this organization
Yep.
with some volunteers.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is a nonprofit. We never make that clear.
It is a nonprofit.
It is a
Yeah.
nonprofit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the building came my way, and I was super excited. And my focus is always community, right? So for me, being that it's a community center, my thought process is always, how can I involve the community? And so I'm working with individuals who are also excited about, oh, we've never thought of that, right? And my whole thing was like, how do we involve the community? So let's have some demo days. And so in doing this, no one ever said, well, you're going to kind of need a permit, right, to do this. And so, but everybody was on board with it,
Yep.
assuming that that was already known.
Right.
And so the first demo day that we had went by without a hiccup. It was fine. And the second one, the building inspector came in and was like, what is happening here, whatever. And we were like, whoa, we're just having a little, community demo day. Well, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do the other. You can just do this and that. And we were like, okay, we'll absolutely just do those things.
Sure.
And so fast forward, we had a block party on August 10th, and August 8th, he came and he put a stop work order on the building. And so the email was like, whoa, what's happening? And it basically just said, well, we wanted to make sure that people weren't walking through the building at the block party because we had TMLP, the light company, outside in a tent with some EV chargers and cars, because that's kind of what we want, for the building. And so because there's no, there's not an occupancy certificate of occupancy. That's what it is. Because there's no certificate of occupancy, we just wanted to make sure. And so, okay, no problem. So we have a fun neighbor who is a hater and is constantly calling the city and calling the building inspector and posting on social media all the negative things you can possibly imagine, but has never come over to say, hi, I'm your neighbor. I don't know this individual, never seen them, and they've never seen me. Don't even know how I don't know them. But they went up to the door and took a picture and then posted and said, this $1 million building with a stop work order. So, that's going to grab the attention of the reporter. And now the reporter gives us a long list of questions, asking us all these questions. And I'm livid and I want to just cuss her out. And everybody around me, PR, is like, stop it.
Yep.
You can't do
You
that.
can't do that.
You can't call her a F&B. You can't do that. And so I'm like, has nobody ever gotten a stop work order? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
All the time.
I mean, I don't, like,
Right.
and so it just became a thing. And then it became another thing after the article came out, because I was like, I wish we got $1 million from the city. The city gave us $20,000 for our campaign fund for the loft. $20,000. Everything else came from grants.
Right.
Nothing to do with the city. But now it's up to $2 million that the city gave us.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, congratulations
Thank
in
you.
that
Hey,
fake, in
thank
that
you.
fake
Where would I
world.
go?
And then it just started to snowball. And so it started to be like, well, where is the money going? I don't even have it, so I don't know. And on top of that, just to state, the grants that we received, they're reimbursable grants. They don't just appear in my account. So I don't have access. There's a lot that has to go into us getting those funds. And it just became like one thing after another. And, people just talking things that they don't know. And that's really what it has been. It has been difficult for me. And not because really of what's going on, because I'm like, oh, whatever, it happens to everybody. But I think that what really has hurt, because I'm giving, countless hours. I'm giving so much time and energy, and it just feels like a slap in the face. And I think the ungratefulness of somebody doing this for a community that has nothing like this.
Right.
And I literally have been in the space for the past month, like, find another nonprofit to do this, because I'm stepping down. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, you can't do that. You can't allow them to, take you out of your element and whatever else like that. And so that's really, that has been what it is. A lot of misinformation, a lot of lies.
Right. And what do you do? What do you do once there's misinformation put out there?
That's my thing, because people are like, well, just
They
stay
believe
quiet.
the lies.
Yeah, just stay quiet. You don't want to seem defensive.
No.
And I'm like, well, isn't that what we're doing? Don't we
Right.
have to defend the truth?
You have
right.
to.
And
Right.
then other people are like, you better say something.
Right.
And I just do not know. But then, again, back to the circle, people just started talking. And people just started saying, that's not true.
Right.
This is a lie. Stop it.
Yep.
And it felt great to see people coming out and saying the things that they were saying about us and shedding a good light on us.
Yep.
Not because they wanted to hide something, but because they're really truly saying this could happen to anyone, any
Yes.
one of us, and it's not really a big deal. It got fixed in 2 days.
Right. Right.
He came back from Greece, 5:00 in the morning, literally stamped on the paid certificate. 5:00 in the morning, paid it, and within 24 hours, the building inspector came, took down the red sign, and put up the permit that we were good to go, and demolition and all the other stuff is going to start next week. But
Was that in the article? Did they write an article?
but they
about
won't do that. They won't do that, right? And that's what I've been fighting. And then the best thing about it is I said to them, if you continue to sow seeds of doubt and spread this misinformation, I'm going to have to come for you for defamation of character, right?
Right.
And oh my God, how dare I say that? And it became a whole thing. And don't you know you're a public figure? And I'm like, well, there's a million other public figures but you're not talking about them.
Right.
Because it's them who's sending you. Because there's a lot of political stuff that goes into this, but I'm not going to get into that part. But it has made me heavy. It has made me rethink, quite honestly, was this the community I was supposed to do this in? And again, like Maria has said, she has said, this is the community you're supposed
Right.
to do this in. You're a lioness. You get out there and you show your face. You do not cower. And so I have been in the space where I tiptoe in and I tiptoe out, because I'm also disgusted. I don't know who's talking. I don't know who to trust. I don't know if you're smiling in my face and then the same one stabbing me in my
Yep.
back. And again, back to your original statement, that can get lonely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we talk a little
I just want to
bit-
say I'm really sorry that that this nonsense is happening.
I appreciate it.
Right. Because, because I love your point. It can happen to anybody.
Anybody.
And I'm not sure how we kind of get in front of, and I don't think we can get in front of, but I think we can get around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, we can create our communities and ensure that we have people to turn to, that we can ask for help, that we
Yes.
can identify what the issues are, that we can be transparent in how we talk about it. These are
Correct.
really important.
Correct.
So I'm really glad that you shared that. Thank you so much.
you.
All the many hats that Tanya wears, she's also running for school committee.
Oh,
so
fun.
can you talk a little bit about that and how is that going?
Not fun. I'm running for school committee because I really want to help at a different level the children that I see and work with and the youth that I work with all the time. It just breaks my heart that our community votes in such a way where it's more of who you know, who you like, versus what are the qualifications and how will this actually help our students and our families. But nevertheless, I continue to persevere. I put my, hat in the ring every time. And we get closer and closer every time. But it's one of those things where, just like I said, I was hesitant and I wasn't going to do it. And about a week and a half before the deadline, I started getting all these phone calls like, please tell me you're jumping in this race. And I'm like, no, I'm not this time. And they're like, you can't do that. You can't do it to the kids. You can't do, like, what if this is the time?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep thinking to myself, do you know what's happening in Taunton right now? Is this really going to be the time? But I then go back to the state representative race where it literally came down to 17 votes. And I don't know how to urge our community to come out and vote because it's so important.
Right.
And so much more important than even our national elections.
Yes.
Because this actually affects us. And we're paying attention nationally, but not paying attention locally. Mm-hmm. And it is becoming incestuous. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The nepotism is wild. Mm-hmm. And you have families who are in office, are in everywhere you can look. And you have the Tauntonians who have been there for decades and hundreds of years, who continue to run our city. And there's a whole community within our community that is being left behind, but nobody cares about that. Mm-hmm. And nobody says those things. And when I say those things, I'm just you already know.
You're an outsider.
Yes.
You're not Tauntonian.
I'm not a Tauntonian. I'm just kind of residing there. Mm-hmm. But I love my community, and I keep coming out, and I keep putting myself out there, and my family just keeps looking at me like, how many times are you going to get slapped in the face?
Right.
And this is where that Christian foundation comes in, 70 times 7. Right? Because, so I am excited for the possibility, and I'm hopeful, but not with that same hope that I initially was when I first started running, even though more people know me now than then. And I just also believe that, back to what I was saying earlier, this kind of attention for the building and the article and all the thing is also because I'm running for school committee.
Sure.
And there are some individuals who have called me not so nice names.
Yep.
To my face, behind my back, black nationalists, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, am I? Just because. And so there's an undercurrent of all these things. And I asked the reporter the other day, do you realize how much people are just like giving you a little bit of information and you're trying to dig for all that's really not there, or the smoking gun that you haven't been able to find? And you're allowing them to get you to sway people in a direction and not being neutral about it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because as you tell me that I'm a public figure, there are a lot of other public figures. And trust me, if I told you the stories, you'd be running after those more than you're running after me in some building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This is fascinating.
Right? I'm so glad she drove all the way to Taunton. To Marsfield. From Taunton to Marsfield. Yes.
But I want to make sure, is there anything that we haven't asked that you were hoping we were going to talk about today, that from an entrepreneurship perspective, from any perspective, but is there anything that you wanted to talk about that you were hoping we'd discuss?
Honestly, I didn't really have much expectation. I was excited to come and just hang, just continue to get the energy that I need. But what I will say is that from an entrepreneurial standpoint, it's important to find your people. It's important to find
Your tribe.
I've been through a lot of individuals who I believed were my tribe.
Yep.
I've been through a lot of individuals who, I mean, I could not tell you, even to this day, what occurred that broke us up, because that's really what it is. It's a breakup.
Yep.
But what I can say is that sometimes your authenticity is actually your detriment in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it brings on more loneliness. And as an entrepreneur, at times, that loneliness and that want to be around others can make you doubt yourself.
Yes.
Oh, God, absolutely.
Doubt what you're doing.
Yep.
And I just want to say that don't stop.
Right.
Don't quit. Keep going. It absolutely gets better. And
Yeah.
like you were saying, those wins, those conversations, those little connections that you make it a big deal. Celebrate
Absolutely.
Yep.
it. Jump for joy. Do the thing. I like to get a little piece of cake, some ice cream, something, because nobody celebrates you.
I like that. Why don't we ever have cake and ice cream?
Right? It has to be gluten-free, though.
That's why we don't have cake and ice
That's why
cream.
we don't
Right.
have cake.
But literally, like, I will sit there and I will celebrate myself. And that this is just new. I've just started doing this, but I will celebrate myself. And initially, it felt wrong. It felt like I was gloating. It felt like I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. But the more I'm doing it, the more I'm like, but you did that.
Right.
And that should be celebrated.
Yes. Yep.
And who can take that away from you? You overcame another hurdle.
Yeah.
And so I want to say, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, to absolutely celebrate yourself.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. And I want to go back to something else that you said, which is all of the relationships that have somehow gone by, right? And I think you and I talk about this a lot for us.
A lot.
Because we talk about not festering any resentments, and we get, if there's something to be said, we put it out on the table and we mix it around and we come to the final point, because she and I both are pretty strong in our stances. I know that's a shocker.
I think all three of us are.
Right, but when we, and we have a lot of stuff together, right? It's
Right.
not just the podcast. We do a lot of work together.
Right.
And there's things. And
course.
sometimes it doesn't take much to go, I wonder what she means by that.
Right.
We don't sit with, I wonder what
No.
she means by that. We throw it out there on the table and we say, what did you mean by that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? And you have, and to me, it's such a pivotal part of how, as small businesses, of how we build out our tribe, of how we ensure we take our resentments and we ensure that we're not carrying or festering them. And
that's important.
It's been really helpful.
And I'm going to tell you something that I tell people, and I've posted, and I continue to like throw it out there. This is a relationship.
Yes.
Okay? And I don't think people understand that, just like your spouse, your kid, you know, whatever, your dog, you don't just throw your dog away because he pooped in the house
Right.
No.
or
Right.
peed in the, you know, like,
Yep.
you don't just throw them away.
Yep.
Right.
And we don't do the hard things anymore.
Right.
We don't.
We just on with the next.
Yep.
And that, like I said, that's why I call it a breakup, because once this is a relation, I will call, you pissed me off. And I'm going to tell you how you pissed me off.
Right.
And we're going to do the thing. I don't hate her.
Right. That's right.
She's still sharing how you feel.
Yes.
That's it.
About
And
something
it's
I said or
not-
did.
It's not
Correct.
impacting our tomorrow.
Exactly.
It's going to
Things
allow
impacting
us
the now.
and
Exactly.
allow our tomorrow
Exactly.
to happen.
Right.
And
Yes.
that has been something that I've been trying to teach more, because people don't accept you for who you are. They want to change you and mold you into what they want you to be.
Yes.
Who you
And the
should be,
more
yeah.
they get to know you, they feel like, well, I didn't know you were like that.
Right.
Well, I don't always give you all of it from the beginning.
Right.
And then just like a spouse, you have that honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
But then comes the real stuff.
Yes.
And what are we doing to make sure that we are continuing to connect, continuing to have the conversations, because all of the honeymoon stuff is over.
Yep.
This is the real part.
Yeah.
And so everybody that you have a connection with is a relationship that you're building, and it's up to us to continue to have the building blocks for those relationships. And so why I say it's a breakup is because I literally mourn. And I try not to hold grudges.
Yeah.
And it has been other people who would sit there and say to me, well, don't speak to them. And I literally, even on birthdays and memories, and I would be like, damn, I wish I could just text them and just be like, I'm actually thinking of you in this moment, even though I really technically shouldn't be, because I know you ain't thinking about me, right?
Yeah.
So I 100% believe that that is the best way to be. And it's a beautiful thing when you really look at it, because it continues to allow you to get to know each other, and for you guys to be able to continue to build. And then it becomes a true friendship.
Right.
People say you can't work with family, you can't work with friends. No, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
You just have to know how to.
Yes.
There goes my
Yes.
therapist, my therapy for
no,
that.
no, I appreciate it. And our spouses do know.
Yeah, they do. Hey, your significant other hasn't called George says, oh, no, we already talked 4 times today. Don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah,
We're good.
we are good. But so, you know, we are getting closer to that time. We always ask each other what our takeaways were. Doesn't have to be many.
Yeah.
Our producer, Mr. Elijah Torvides, said, why don't you ask the guest? So we're going to do that today.
Okay.
So what, from this conversation that we had today, what is your takeaway?
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
You asking the guests what their takeaways?
You said that to do that.
No, I said you and Lisa discuss what the take.
Okay, well, now I want...
That's fine. Yes,
now I want to know what her takeaway
We'll
is.
talk about it, but I think there's one more thing you want to talk about, Tanya.
What do I want to talk about, Elijah? Tell me.
I've been seeing these videos that you're posting on Facebook, you know. I'm just curious, who edits these? Because they're phenomenal. You know?
No, he did not. No, he did not.
It's just the biggest plug I ever heard.
By the way, Elijah.
Can you say the name of the company? We want to know. We don't know.
By the way, Elijah.
Elijah, if you're watching this on the camera. No, she's saying Elijah right now.
Is my photographer and videographer, and I also need a video for my campaign. So I'm hoping that we can connect rather quickly. I would like it to come out within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
So if you're watching it,
he's so funny.
Oh my God! Oh, he's a riot.
That was a good one.
It really was. No, seriously, my takeaway has just been that it's good to be in community and in good company with like-minded individuals. And by like-minded, I don't mean we think exactly alike, but like we just talked about, we're able to appreciate our differences and still be together. And everything that I do is very intentional. And to me, in this moment, intention is it's my go-to. It has been with everything I do. Even if I go to the supermarket, there's an intention because I have found that when I just kind of do, I'm all over the place. And so today was intentional. I made everything work. We're going on a trip tomorrow to New Hampshire.
We're going to New Hampshire.
Not we, because I wasn't.
No, Lisa wasn't invited. Sorry.
But my vehicle is at the shop, making sure tires are good, brakes are good, everything is good, because it's been something I've been needing to do, been putting in the back burner. And then, but that being said, I said I'm gonna figure it out. Whether I take my husband's car, the work van, or my kid's car, I'm gonna make it because I've been postponing. And I wanted to like be here. So, and I wanted to intentionally be in community, continue to surround myself by individuals who are going to give me the good energy in a time where I need it most, in a time of my storm. And so you guys are my covering.
Oh, thank you.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Lisa, what's your takeaway?
All community. It's, and we talk about that a lot,
All the
right?
time.
It's,
All the
it's,
time.
It's the only way to get, I don't want to say through because it is truly about the journey, but
Right.
how do we, whatever our intention is around our business, what are the actions that we need to do that? And how do we support it? And we do that with our community.
That's great.
You?
My takeaway was ask for help.
Always.
We always do.
Always.
And it's, I believe that it's across the board, but some cultures have a little tougher time asking for that help because they have, you've been raised that you're independent, you don't depend on anybody, it's you. Come to
Correct.
find out that, that doesn't work
That's
all
not
the
how it
time.
works.
So
Yeah.
to me, that she brought up help so many times that
Yeah.
she has made it this far because she was able to ask for help.
Yeah.
So,
And keyboard warriors.
yes.
Oh my
Shut
God.
up.
Yes, yes.
Just shut up.
Yes. Show your
Right.
face.
Show your face.
Show
Show
your
your
face.
face.
Show
Right?
your face.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So-
Show your resume.
That part.
Right?
Show your face in your resume.
Right.
That part.
I'll go. I'll
Yeah.
go toe to toe.
Yeah.
Yes.
And come help. Come be
Gallito
in
que
community.
quiere. We have a gallito que quiere que here, and Lisa against anybody. Gallito que quiere que. We know what we're talking about. So this has been an outstanding interview. Thank you, Tanya, so
Absolutely.
much.
My pleasure.
Love to have you here. Maybe after the elections, you'll come back again and talk to us.
Maybe I'll be the third. No.
Maybe once the building is done, you're gonna have some space designated for little offices.
I see where you're going.
Like Ellen and Westgate and M&A Supply Diversity
I'm
Consultants
trying to tell
can
you.
come over there, and we'll be able to bring the podcast there.
Yeah,
and
let's go do the
interview
diversity
people
duo
there.
when you're ready.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
That'd be
The grand
fun.
opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun,
That
We're
fun,
would
looking
be-
forward
fun.
to that.
That would
Okay.
be-
So we're gonna be looking for that invitation. Anyways, I hope that the listeners enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. I want to leave you with my favorite quote. Let's continue to amplify diverse voices and foster meaningful dialogues. Until then, this is Maria. Thank you for listening.
And Tanya, thank you so much. It was great meeting you in person. I'm Lisa. We're the diversity duo, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Yay!
Whoa!
Yay!
That's
Great.
That's good, my friend.